How many games with the same theme is too many? How many games based on the exact same movie is too many? What's happening, party people? Welcome to Punchboard Party. My name is Daniel, and in today's video we are talking about Dune. That's right. In Q4 of this year, we're going to be getting 3 new Dune games and a Dune expansion for Dune Imperium, Rise of Ix. You can see about it here. I talk about it in that video, so check it out. But along with that expansion, we will be getting Around Essen Time, Dune House Secrets. That's based on Ignacy Trzewiczuk's detective universe of board games. So you can hear me talk a little bit more about that in this hotness video that I did a little while ago as well. But in today's video, I'm talking about 2 more Dune games also set in the world of the new film coming out in October as well. So I think it's a really smart move to have all of these different games themed around a movie that is going to do gangbusters. It's going to get a lot more eyeballs on the hobby. But for fans of the original Dune novel and subsequent novels by Frank Herbert, having all of these Dune games themed around the movie as opposed to the original source content can be a little frustrating. So right before I get into the meat of things, I want to know, down below, are you excited that there are going to be 4 distinct Dune games that all have Timothée Chalamet, Dave Bautista, Jason Momoa, these faces standing in for the characters of this Dune world? Or would you rather a Dune game that is sort of more timeless, that stands apart from the film? Let me know down below. So really there's 2 games I want to talk about in this video. The first one is Dune, a game of conquest and diplomacy. Now we've already been hearing a bit about this, but now we got a little bit more. This game is based on the original Dune design, so the holy grail board game for a lot of people for a very long time. This big, sprawling area control game all around alliances and shifting alliances and warfare on a big map of Arrakis, and then subsequently re-themed to Rex, which was using the Twilight Imperium universe for the same game because they couldn't get the rights to Dune at the time. I played Rex and really enjoyed it, actually. I'm a big fan of Rex. I think it has a spot in any gamer's collection. But then Gale Force 9, just a couple years ago, they reprinted Dune with the Dune theme and license. And they really went with kind of a vintage look. They kind of made it still look kind of sleek and chic, but it was still just sort of the original game repackaged. And so what that meant was 3 to 4 to 5 hour playtime. That meant you could only play with 3 to 6 players, and it was going to be best at 6. It just came with the same disadvantages that the original game and Rex came with, where really great game, but tending to stay on people's shelves and not getting to the table. And so with the new movie, Gale Force 9 is re-implementing this design, but this time they are streamlining it, making it simple, really turning it into an entry-level area control game. So the whole idea is still there in terms of moving troops on this map of Arrakis, trying to gain control over strongholds, and if one player has 2 or 3 strongholds, they win the game. But the way that things kind of shake out in this game, you can play it between 20 and 60 minutes. Wow-wee. So this both gets me excited and nervous at the same time. I always wonder if you can pack the same punch in a shorter game as you can in a longer game. In a longer game, the simple math is the tension can build for longer. You can prepare more adequately for the battles that you engage in with other players. And so when things do come to a head, it is more satisfying, and there's a feeling of kind of a well-fought battle. Crunching that experience down into a short playtime, and the new mechanic introduced to speed the game along is a market deck, which has all of these different kind of action cards and special abilities that will kind of let you do different things and have special powers and kind of break the game in different ways, like any cards like this do. But I'm sure it's in those cards that it gives the ability for the game to be a bit more streamlined and snappy. So they're really toying this as an entry-level gateway style game, and so I find that really, really intriguing that we take Dune, which is known for being a quite heavy gaming experience, to now a gaming experience that you can just set out in front of the table with fans of the movie and have a really nice, quick game experience that will hopefully kind of get them into the hobby more. The other advantage is that this edition of Dune is toting the ability to play with 2 players. So if it scales through all those player counts really well, we potentially have a banger on our hands. So Dune, a game of conquest and diplomacy, coming out swinging, and we're just gonna have to wait and see on this one. But what do you think? Let me know down below. Do you think that Dune, a game of conquest and diplomacy, is going to catch the same tension and flavor and satisfying game experience that Dune or Rex does? Do you think this Dune Light in 20 to 60 minutes is going to land with its target audience? Let me know down below. Swing or a miss for Dune. The other Dune game, and this one kind of came out of nowhere for me, and there's been just sort of whispers, there's even a thread on BGG about is this game even real? But Gale Force 9 again is teaming up with Don Eskridge of Resistance and Resistance Avalon fame to do kind of a light social deduction style game with the Dune theme again. This actually looks really neat. So this looks like a Resistance style game. It's this really streamlined game of distrust and bluffing and lying and cheating that I just find really satisfying, especially because it plays in about half an hour and it just upends your perception of reality and who you can trust in the most delightful way. And so taking the designer of those games and giving us a game in this style, but adding a few things. So when we're looking at the promotion material for this game, we can see the game laid out, and there's actually 4 types of cards in the game. So there's your identity cards, there's your trait cards, there's your action cards, and then there's your target cards. And so my brain is just spinning about how these different cards play into that kind of basic Resistance skeleton. So not only do you have your identity, so whether you're kind of a Harkonnen spy in the Atreides household, but now you have a trait. So I'm thinking probably like a special objective that you have to meet at the same time as failing the mission or quest, or making sure the quest passes or succeeds or whatever. You also have this other thing that you have to worry about along at the same time. And then with the target deck, I assume there's somewhere around the table that you're going to have to assassinate in order to be successful in your mission. And then you have these action cards, which I imagine play into your own little traits or objectives and things that you can use to assassinate, to sabotage the quest, to find out people's identities, to keep people from finding out your identity. So again, a really solid core game system with this kind of variation around it. I can't help but be very excited about Dune Betrayal. So before we wrap this up, let me know, Resistance, Avalon, do you like that game system? Is that something that you really enjoy playing with your friends, or are you over it? Do you think that Dune Betrayal is going to revive that game system for you? Let me know down below. So here we go, party people. We have Dune Imperium, which is already on the top of a lot of people's minds, and that's getting a new expansion and Rise of tactics. And then we got Dune, a game of conquest and diplomacy, which is kind of the answer for a lot of people who've been craving a Dune game that's more digestible, that plays like the original Dune game. And then we have Dune House Secrets, which is going to give you that big, more immersive, story-driven, mystery-solving experience. And that's coming out around the same time. And then finally, we're going to have Dune Betrayal, which is going to give us that quick and dirty social deduction style resistance kind of game. And so we have this cool thing where we kind of have 4 games with the same skin on it, but giving us 4 quite different experiences. So we have a light area control game, we have a light social deduction game with a few wrinkles that might kind of kick it up to a little bit more of a complex experience. And then we have a nice medium, for some people maybe medium heavy weight Euro in Dune Imperium. And then we also have this heavier, chunkier, narrative-driven, immersive experience in House Secrets. And so we have 2 games that are on the more complex side, we have 2 games that are on the lighter side, and they're all playing quite differently from one another. But the question is, are each of these titles on their own gonna knock it out of the park? And if they do, is there gonna be room on your shelf for all 4 of them? Or which way are you gonna lean? So down below, let me know, which of these 4 Dune games do you think is gonna make it onto your board game shelf? And rank them down below based on how often you think you're going to play each of these Dune games over the next year or so. I think that'd be fun, so let me know that. All right, party people, so that is so much Dune. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about all of these different Dune games and which you are most excited for or not. So if you enjoy this content where I talk about new up and coming games and just kind of geek out about them with you, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate every single one of you who are subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much to all 360 plus of you. It just makes this whole YouTube thing so much more fun when there's people to talk about the things that are happening in this wonderful hobby of ours. So until next time, party people, have the best day.